Hi, welcome to SBR.TV. I'm Peter Loshak. Justin Seven is with us, and it's finally time to take a look at the BCS championship game in college football and give a little preview of it, get Justin's take on whether there might be any betting value anywhere with it. All right, so let's go, Justin. First, I will just very quickly run down the basic deal of this game. Two absolutely awesome defenses, of course. Alabama's number 2 in the country in total defense. Texas is number 3. Texas is also number 1 in the country against the run, and Alabama is number 2. Alabama didn't really seem to have too many weaknesses through the year. Texas, though, did seem to have a little trouble establishing their running game at times, and there were a few games where their rushing numbers were poor. Also, if you look at the way these two teams ended the regular season, it does give a bit of a reason to be concerned about betting on Texas. Alabama, of course, ended the year with a blowout win over Florida, very impressive, while Texas ended the year with 2 close wins over some teams with weaknesses. And, of course, their last game, they almost lost against Nebraska, which would have cost them the spot in this title game. In the first game of those two, their normally awesome defense got gashed by Texas A&M, but they made up for it because Texas A&M has such a crappy defense themselves. Texas was able to outscore them. And then sort of the inverse happened in the next game against Nebraska. Texas's offense was silenced by Nebraska. Nebraska actually got 9 sacks in that game, but Nebraska's offense is so limited that Texas was able to keep them down 2 even more and pull out a win. But Alabama, of course, does not have any of those kinds of limitations. And if Texas D gets gashed again, or if their offense gets held down again, it's highly unlikely that Texas will be able to make up for it in some other way. So that's the basic deal with the game. And now let's just hear what your model has to say. What's your line on this one? The spread is Texas -4. I'm sorry, Alabama -4.
I made Alabama a 1/2 point favorite, so I definitely like Texas.
Interesting. So you lean to Texas at this line. It doesn't sound like you lean enough to bet it, though.
I'll probably have a small bet on Texas. Maybe I'm more likely to bet the money line, but maybe some spread also. There's interesting things about this game, I think. I don't think Alabama's offense is that balanced. They're lopsided on the rush. Texas has the #1 rush defense in the country, and I think that's a favorable matchup. You know, if this game is decided by 3 or 4 points, you may see the difference in a cover or a win being who has to kick more field goals, because that red zone gets shut down by a good rush defense. So I think that factor, along with all the other stats, make me like Texas in this game.
Interesting. Okay, but you say that Texas is number 1 against the run. Sure, but Alabama's number 2, and Alabama might be rush heavy. But so you don't see Texas's problems at times during the year on the run as being an issue here?
My model says the matchup of Alabama's run versus Texas's run defense is favorable to Texas and more favorable than Alabama's defense versus Texas's offense. Texas has a more balanced offense, more geared towards passing, but their running game is balanced also. Alabama relies too much on the run, and if their run gets stifled, they're gonna have problems.
All right, well, there it is. There you go. And then let's just move on to the total. This total hasn't moved much at all. It opened at a 45.5. It took 1 tick move down to a 45, and it's looking like it's going to stay there up to game time. I think that okay. Here's my prediction of what you're going to say about the total is that I think you'll say that you have a small lean to the over. I think that you think the total's a teeny bit low, not enough for you to bet it. But I think that you'll say that if it goes down a few more points, you would seriously consider betting it, but we don't think that it's going to go down, so it'll probably stay around 45 by game time.
Oh, you're pretty right, Peter. I made it 46, so no interest in this total right now.
All right. Well, there you go. So I guess that's it. I think we've covered it. Thanks once again, Justin, and that's the official Justin 7 lean on this game. Small towards Texas, nothing on the total. So take that for what it's worth, and for SBR.TV, I'm Peter Loshak.